worst in the respective category. Somebody's got to break.
Yeah, and let's hope it's not. Yeah, let's hope it's not the Browns there, because for the Browns, as we know, they've had their run struggles too, but they're at in the high 80s in that category. So I don't know against this daunting Denver defense how good that's going to be, but something you can control is defending the run. Like, Matt, I'm just terrified we're going to see C.J. Anderson and Rodney Hillman go off, and then all the national pundits say, hey, they figured it out, and then go back to rushing for like 20 yards the next week.
It's entirely possible. I mean, it's not like we haven't seen it before, but the key is that if they can't get pressure on Manning, then it doesn't much matter what the run game is going to do, because he's going to cover them up. That's an inexperienced secondary that we've got back there with Desir and Poyer, and it's gonna end badly if they can't find a way to get home. And they talk about Denver's so good at just using their front four to get pressure on the quarterback. Well, the Browns have to find a way to get pressure without sending a blitz.
Right.
Because if they empty out and leave one linebacker to cover a running back in a zone-type situation, Manning's going to eat them alive. And they should know that, and I understand that they're going to be hard-headed enough to believe that he can't because he doesn't have it anymore, and they're going to be the defense that proves it. But you still have to respect the man's ability to carve up a defense like a Thanksgiving turkey. And if you give him space to do that, he will be just fine.
Oh, there is no smarter quarterback than Peyton Manning, in my mind, in the National Football League today, and maybe all time. The guy who can just step up, point out what the defense is going to do, tell you essentially what he's going to do, and then go and enforce his will and do it, even at the age of 39 years old. Now, we know his main targets, Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas, that he throws to them over 70% of the time. So you know where he's going with the ball, Matt. You know where he's going with the ball, and you mentioned it, that depleted Browns secondary. If they're not on their game, and I've liked the progression of Pierre Desir, but if they're not ready, he can just keep dumping it over to Sanders and Thomas all day, and they're dynamic enough athletes who can make you pay with huge yards after the catch. So that's going to be a big test, obviously.
Oh, without question, this is going to be the best test that Pierre Desir is going to have at the NFL level. And Jordan Poyer having gone against Tom Brady, this will be probably right up there along with that game against the Patriots. So this is their time to shine and to show that they belong. And for Jordan, he had all the off-season reps because Tayshaun Gibson missed all of the off-season program except for the mandatory camp. And he's had a whole week of practice to run with the ones, so now's his time. It is his time to show that he can step up and be a viable safety in this league. And for Desir, it's time to show that he's made enough progressions where they're confident enough to keep him out on the field for a full workload and continue his showing up of young Justin Gilbert, who still cannot find a way on the field, at least involving the defense.
No. But kickoff returns, Matt, because we know how many of those actually get run out of the end zone. Kickoffs, hey, perfect.
Yeah. Again, it falls back to Ray Farmer's comments that wide receivers only affect the game 10 times, and yet you draft a guy number 8 overall who will be lucky to impact the game twice. And
you sign a guy in Dwayne Bowe who impacts the game 0 times. Not even 10, 0 times. Because any update on that? Is Dwayne Bowe going to play this week? Should I care if he plays this week?
Hasn't been on the injury report, but he was a healthy scratch last week, and I would imagine that he's going to be a healthy scratch last week, despite what offensive coordinator John DeFilippo had to say yesterday when he said it's a long season and at some point we're going to need Dwayne Bowe.
Yeah,
Dwayne is going to have an impact for us at some point in the year. I don't know when that would be, but it better start being quick if you're Ray Farmer, because if it's not, you might want to dust off the old resume, my friend, because that is a huge red X on your file on top of the suspension, and you're getting literally nothing out of Dwayne Bowe, and almost next to nothing out of Brian Hartline right now. And these were two of your top 3 free needs and signings.
Yeah. Well, at least Hartline tries. You know he wants to be out there. Bo's a borderline thief here. So you're listening to the Dawg House, your inside look at the Cleveland Browns. I'm Andy McNamara alongside Matt Florjancic, your Browns insider from WKYC Sports in Cleveland. Get us on Twitter at AndyMC81, at Matt Florjancic. Let us know your score prediction for Broncos versus Browns. Broncos 5-0, Browns 2-3. Matt, big play Gary Barnidge, a sensation that's butt catch, whatever, crotch catch, whatever you want to call it, has been played all over Sports Center, all over the country. Is this the week, though, against this Broncos defense, with all their weapons, with their pass rush, with their secondary, with former Brown TJ Ward commenting on a call saying, hey, I didn't want to leave. I never got an offer, so he's PO'd. Is this the week that Gary Barnidge and Josh McCown, their huge offensive numbers, come back to earth?
Yeah, I would say it is, but I would also say that Gary Barnidge will get a lot of targets this week in check down situations because Josh McCown isn't going to have a whole lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
But Gary's going to have to find a way to contain from a defensive back to get down the field because those passes are going to be 5 yards to 8 yards in length. They're not going to be any longer than that because I don't think Josh is going to have that much time.
No, I'm with you. It's fascinating to see if once the pressure's, he's no longer surprised, right? So I always find it interesting to see when a guy's no longer surprised when he breaks out, when he has attention on him, can he still deliver? And for Josh McCown, can he actually stay healthy? All right, let's swing around the AFC North in our From the Shotgun. And we begin, Matt, in a tightening, outside of the Bengals, it is a tight AFC North. So the 3-2 Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 1-1 at home, host the Arizona Cardinals, 4-1, 2-0 on the road. Carson Palmer has been pretty much incredible since coming back from his knee surgery. And when he's been in the Cardinals lineup the last couple of seasons, when healthy, he has been spectacular. So they have the defense, they have the offensive weapons. Who are you liking at Heinz Field, Cardinals and Steelers?
I like Arizona.
Good.
I think their offense is humming along pretty good, and Pittsburgh is still Pittsburgh, but their defense is not nearly what it used to be, and they're still a week away from getting Big Ben Roethlisberger back. So I lean toward the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm going to go Arizona too, meaning the Steelers will fall to 3-3, and that the Browns have a chance to tie the Steelers as well. Tough matchup next in Buffalo, Ralph Wilson Stadium, the undefeated Cincinnati Bengals against that Bills defense. They're 3-2, the Bills are. Bengals undefeated. Andy Dalton, highest rated, highest points fantasy player. Take that for what it's worth, Matt, but who would have bet that? Andy Dalton, A.J. Green, we know the weapons. We know their defense, underrated, is good. Bills, lots of quarterback trouble, but, and it's a big but, that defense under Rex Ryan is going to be angry. They do not like to lose. We know how much of a motivator Ryan can be, especially in his first couple of years with the team. So the Bills have a shot. Bengals on the road in Buffalo. Who you taking?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati all day?
Despite the fact that they played 3 of the worst quarters of football this year against the Seahawks, I think they finally righted the ship in that fourth quarter and in overtime, and they figured some things out, and they're not going to let that happen again because they can't afford to against a good team like Buffalo. But the caveat being that it'll still be easier to make a comeback against Buffalo because their offense is not doing what it's supposed to right now.
No, Tyrod Taylor, E.J. Manuel, yeesh, we think we have quarterback problems. Okay, last AFC North matchup. At late afternoon game, the San Francisco 49ers 1-4 against the Baltimore Ravens 1-4. Super Bowl rematch from a couple years ago with the Harbaugh brothers. How the mighty have fallen. That long West Coast trip. Matt, did the Ravens fall to 1-5?
Yep.
Wow.
Absolutely. Despite Eric Mangini's inability to coach a defense against the New York Giants last week, I still like the 49ers.
Jeez. And you know what? I'll go Bengals from the last game. I'm going to say Baltimore pulls it out somehow. I can't comprehend the Ravens going 1-5. I want them to, but I just can't have it in there. All right, so that's.
But you will toast it when it happens.
Yeah, exactly. I hope it does. We'll toast with a nice cool beverage. Okay, let's get to your tweets at the Bark Off, at AndyMC81, at Matt Florjancic. and get your score predictions. Broncos versus Browns. This one comes from @JMacTravel. Says it'll be close. I like Peyton, but the Browns pull off a tight one, 24-23. Okay, Matt, your official prediction. Now, if we go back to last week, we both picked Baltimore. So you are 2-3 on the year. I'm 1-4. Oh boy, that's rough. This is getting rough. I have the Baltimore Ravens schedule. Oh, or rating. Oh my gosh. All right. So you are 2-3. I'm gonna make a note here. Matt's 2-3. I am an embarrassing 1-4. Broncos, Browns. Give me your prediction.
28-7 Broncos.
Browns only get a touchdown. That's it with Josh McCown lighting it up almost 500 yards.
This defense is a hell of a lot better than the defense he cooked for 457 yards and 3 touchdowns, 2 in the air and 1 on the ground.
Oh boy, tough but fair, Matt. Oh man, this is tough because if I fall away here, it's almost going to be insurmountable in our contest for me to come back. So I'm
only one game better than you.
After this would be 2.
It's not that bad.
After this would be 2.
It's not like I'm 5-0 and you're 0-5. Come on now.
Not the Bengals and the Ravens.
To chase the Bengals down.
Okay, I think this is going to be more reminiscent of the Broncos' 16-10 win over Oakland last week. It's going to be surprisingly low scoring, and despite my better judgment, Matt. Despite my better judgment. The Cleveland Browns win it 17-13. No, I'm going to say 17-16. I'm going to say 17-16. 17-16 for the Browns over the Broncos. How about that? Yes. There you go. Browns good karma right there. 17-16 Browns. I'm putting the record on the line. I think they're not going to overlook this Broncos team, and they're going to edge it out. But this one, the Browns defense really needs to show up to because this and you have to also, for the offense, Matt, you got to avoid defensive touchdowns and turnovers because they're that good. And you know TJ Ward's going to look the ball out.
Without question he is, and he should, because to be honest with you, a Pro Bowl player in your last year with a team and they let you walk, and they don't. Not only do they let you walk, but they don't even have the courtesy to extend you a contract offer.
Yeah.
Young TJ has a point to prove, and he's going to prove it.
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope that you fall to that your record falls.
That would make you 2-4, or you 2-4.
Your record, yeah, exactly. So, oh boy. Okay, well, that will do it for this edition of the Dawg House. We hope that it will be another Victory Monday when we come back to you on Monday. Make sure to get our app. Go to the Google Play Store for Android devices. Just type in the Dawg House. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Find us on YouTube and Spreaker.com. For Matt Florjancic, I'm Andy McNamara. This has been the Dawg House, your inside look at the Cleveland Browns. Enjoy the game, folks. Go Browns!